Hey there, friends. Welcome to your weekly energy update. Thanks so much for tuning in with me. It's going to be a very interesting week ahead. If you haven't already been experiencing some big changes in your life or some friction in different parts of your experience, then you're going to probably begin to notice some big changes in the week that's coming up. The reason that I say that is we have three different king cards that are showing up and a very clear sense of what might be called an individuation process, a process by which you are refining yourself by confronting elements that really no longer belong in you. And while this can create a massive upheaval in your psyche, mostly for the better. In other words, you're becoming more integrated. It can also come with a little bit of discomfort. Ultimately, it is moving you in the right direction. You're bringing this king, this royal energy, this energy of mastery, this energy of greater stability into your life. But like anything, in order for it to become stable, there can be a little bit of shifting and changing to get that foundation nice and strong. So let's jump right on in and take a look at the week ahead. Your first card is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is this manifestation of stability, of great conviction, a card of monetary abundance and worldly abundance. There's a wisdom to it, a kind of patience and knowing that comes with this particular card. Now, sometimes this card can also represent authority figures, older men, that sort of thing. And it can be a card that symbolizes our relationship to power. And the reason that I highlight that is that I drew a clarification card and it came out as the Five of Swords, which I think was in our card drawing last week. But as you know, the Five of Swords can be a sign of conflict, of needing to engage in something that's not very comfortable. It can look like things not feeling fair. It can feel like tensions. Often it can be a representation of sort of coming into conflict with rules, with authority figures, or with systems that are toxic in some way. So, this powerful card, this King of Pentacles, is representing power. It's representing relationship with your influence in the world, with your sense of stability, with your sense of mastery and know-how in life. But there's something in this that is being worked out. So that could show up as having conflict with an authority figure, having issues with a boss, dealing with somebody that's overly controlling or oppressive in some way. This can also be your own internal situation where you're trying to wrangle with your influence in the world, with new power that you've come into. You're wanting to have greater security and balance in yourself, but there's fear around being able to truly stand in your power. So that's a pretty powerful start in and of itself. The good news is your second card is showing up as the King of Cups, King number two. And the King of Cups knows how to be emotionally balanced. This is a wise individual who has learned to stay cool, stay centered, regardless of what's happening around them. It's a card of great mastery of riding the waves and still maintaining your integrity. And again, I pulled another clarification card because this reading is just really chock full of a lot of powerful imagery, as you'll continue to see. And what came out is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups symbolizes the same sort of balance, the ability to know that you are secure, that you have what you need, that you're safe as you are. This is sort of the mantra. If there was a mantra for the week, it's returning to this place of balance, returning to having your feet firmly planted on the ground, firmly rooted on this rock, regardless of what's happening. So, particularly if you're noticing intense conflict happening inside of yourself, or there's some kind of upheaval that's happening around you, you returning to this place of, I know who I am, I know what I believe, I'm safe, I have what I need. Um, Everything that I need is coming to me. It's really returning to the center of your being that is unchanging, that is always connected to the deepest elements of creation. It's returning to that place that sees all the change and the movement and the conflict and the drama of the world, and yet still remains connected to source, to truth. Now, anytime that we're attempting to integrate a part of ourself, we're trying to integrate maybe a part that self-sabotages or a part that feels like it needs to have control over others or is dealing with that representation outside of us, somebody that is overly controlling, and we're really beginning to come into alignment with our truer or more resonant relationship with um, our deepest essential beliefs, our movement towards truth, towards justice. Anytime that those elements are coming into conflict with one another and you're beginning to integrate them, it can create some discomfort because you choosing to move towards what is in the highest integrity, you choosing to stand your ground if you're somebody that tends to sort of compromise and get waffled this way or that way, or you choosing to say no to the elements of yourself that want to grip and control and maybe manipulate, means that you're disrupting the inner ecosystem. So the Nine of Swords is your third card, and this can be a card of great anxiety, great uncertainty, because you're changing something fundamental in yourself. And so it's bringing some upheaval, right? If there's a part of yourself that's been sort of an integral part to your survival strategy in life or to how it is that you've sort of navigated things, and you start to sort of push against it and bring change to it, it's going to cause a little bit of chaos. I asked for another clarification card regarding this Nine of Swords, and this is our third king. So the advice here again and again is to return to the wise part of yourself. Return to the part of yourself that knows, that sees. It's asking you to be a leader. The King of Wands is like the pinnacle of leadership, the capacity to see the big view, to lead by your example, to lead by your actions. So this is a week where something is being confronted in you. Life is pushing against a part of yourself that maybe has been hidden or that has been showing up in other people and in your environmental context, and it's creating some discomfort. But it's asking you to step forward. It's asking you to step beyond this pattern and into a different level of your energy and your power, claiming your ground, claiming the truth of who you are, learning to rest in the center of your wisdom. This is what's going to create a lot of powerful changes. I'm actually very excited. I had to hold back from pulling more cards to see what the week after that is going to hold, because this kind of week, and for some of you, it could feel very mild. It could feel like you're already attuning with that true self. You're witnessing more of the situations around you as sort of the play of life. You're learning to sort of rest in yourself. And for others, it could feel a little bit more chaotic. These places where some of this Nine of Swords show up could feel a little more dramatic. And for those of you that are feeling it in a more intense way, breathe. Take time to pause, take walks in nature, return to your heart, return to your belly, feel the support of the ground because something powerful is integrating. But like I was saying, it was hard for me not to want to look at the week afterwards because generally after this kind of integration, there are some beautiful doors that start to open. There are new experiences that begin to come in. But I'll be patient with that. And thanks so much for tuning in with me. And I look forward to connecting again soon. Take good care.